The plays of the day.
Runner left side, got it!
Play it and play it.
This is the play of the day.
Check this out.
Irving, left wing three. Good! There's 60 for Kyrie Irving. A franchise record, a career high. A timeout Orlando. The self-described net fan growing up from West Orange, New Jersey, sets franchise history. It's tied with Karl Anthony Towns for the most points scored in the NBA this season.
That's courtesy of WFAN, Nets Radio Network. Kyrie, 8 of 12 from three-point range. He went 20 of 31 from the floor en route to 60 points. Play of the day brought to you by Tunnel to Towers Foundation. America's heroes need your help. Do good in their honor. Donating $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, T2T.org. That's the letter T, number 2, the letter T.org. You know, you start to wonder about, the 3-point effect on these big games. When Kobe scored 81 points, I think he had 7 3-pointers, and Michael Jordan, when Jordan scored 69 points, I think he had 2 3-pointers. Bird, when he scored his 60 points, he had 1 3-pointer. Now with the proliferation of 3-point shots, if you get hot, you can put up those numbers, and in large part due to 3-point shooting. But I go back to 1970 to 1979. There were 37 different players who scored at least 50. And then 1980 to 1989, 39 different players. 1990 to 1999, 34 different players. 2000 to 2010, 54 different players. So far in the last 10 years, 92 different players have scored at least 50 points. And you start to look at some of these players. I mean, you got to take Wilt Chamberlain out because, Wilt's so far ahead of everybody. I mean, he averaged 50 points a game one season. But, the 3-point shot, the number of 50-point games in each of the last 5 seasons, you have 12 players, 10 players, 12 players, 10 players, 13 players, 10 players. So that's the last 5 years. And we've had 60 points here, back-to-back games, as far as Karl Anthony Towns and then Kyrie Irving. But 60 is the new 50. It does feel like that. By the way, that was a great performance. Your Mike Greenberg impersonation was better than Mike Greenberg.
Thank you. I try to stay away from S and SH words.
Yeah, because we know that was a problem yesterday. Yes, it was. So Kobe, 81-point game, had 7 threes. Karl Anthony Towns and Kyrie had 7 3-pointers when they had 60. Steph had 62 last season, had 8 3-pointers. Bird, when he had his 60-point game, 1 3-pointer. Jordan, when he had 69, made 2 3-pointers. Are we going to have a 80-point performance like we did with Kobe? I believe so. Because you have to go for it, and your teammates have to let you go for it. Kyrie could have had 70 at least last night, maybe 75, because I think he had 7.5 minutes to go, and then you sit him down. Well, he's only going to play a couple more games in the regular season. How many times are you going to get this opportunity there? And maybe it doesn't matter to Kyrie. I don't know. I don't know anything about him. But he'd probably love to remind you, hey, by the way, Steph's the greatest shooter of all time. I'm the best scoring point guard in the NBA right now. And there's a difference. Steph is the best shooter of all time. But Kyrie scores in different ways. He can beat you inside, outside, off the dribble, great in traffic. And he reminded people last night, hey, I'm still really good when I want to be. And I just believe we're going to look back, and maybe Kyrie does, where he goes, yeah, probably gave up some opportunities to be an all-time great. Because he had his own team in Cleveland, LeBron came back. And then he wanted his own team, he went to Boston. And then that didn't go well. And then, he gets to hook up with Kevin Durant, and this is supposed to be a dynasty here. But he's still second to Kevin Durant, and he's second to LeBron James. He wants to have his own team, had his own team in Boston, and didn't handle it well. Yeah, Paul.
Okay, that's the all-time Nets record for scoring in a game, 60. Do you think Kevin Durant goes, I'm going to give it a shot one night. If you go back to when Bird had his 60, Kevin McHale, I think a week before, got 56 in a game and got the Celtic all-time record. And Bird said, you should have gone for 60, man. And a week later, Bird took it. And I don't think that was by accident in any way. Do you think Kevin Durant won?
No.
Not publicly, but says, I'll get this.
Only if it was a friendly rivalry with Kyrie, but would never say that publicly. Because Bird said it publicly. He said, Kevin, should have gone for 60. And that was Bird. It was like, oh, okay, he gave me a challenge here. It'd be like if Kobe had 81 and Michael Jordan was in his prime. I got to believe Mike would go, I'm going to get 82. Yes, Eden.
KD, most points in a game is 54, but that was in 2014.
It's a long time ago. Yes, Todd.
I think it's also worth mentioning, and we had before, but with Kyrie playing, he's not playing, and the inconsistency of being out there, that makes it extra amazing to me that if you're not playing regularly and you're sitting and then you got to get ramped back up, and to put up that kind of game is wild.
Maybe he's well rested. He's a great mystery. But when he gets on the floor, and this is what I try to judge. I try to judge what you do when you play. Because if you bring all the ancillary stuff in, I can bring up a lot of things with a lot of different players. But when I watch him play, he took 31 shots. He made 20 of 31 shots. Like sometimes guys will work really hard to get that big number. Kyrie didn't look like he was working hard to get it. And even when I remember talking to Chris Bosh, he was on the Raptors when Kobe put up 81. And Chris said, and I'll play it for you coming up next hour. He basically said, is Kobe getting 5 points at a time? Like, how is he getting to 81? You're looking up and you're going, how does he have that many points?